Shaun and Lindsey on this wonderful Thursday. And like I say every day, it's hot, hot, hot. It's supposed to be the hottest week of the year, Lindsey.
Tell every.
Do I got you? Do I got the wrong
Is
mic
this the
on?
wrong mic?
Oh, yeah, I guess
Okay.
it's the wrong mic. Yeah, you're mic 3. Gotcha.
Okay. Tell everybody where we're talking to them from.
What? The studio here in the Women's Wellness of Mississippi? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yes, that's what
Okay,
you're supposed
she
to
usually
say.
does the intro on that portion. I always forget that she's the Women's Wellness sponsored person. So
The Men's Health and Women's Wellness of
Men's Health,
Mississippi
yeah.
studio
Right.
in Flora, Mississippi. We are live on the radio, also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. I believe Shaun's over there working the things. Well, I'm not really sure if he's doing it right. Y'all know how he messes up sometimes.
Yeah.
But Shaun, I had an appointment at Women's Wellness today.
How'd that go?
10 pounds down in 1 month, the first month.
Wow, that's a lot.
I'm super excited. And, I purposely have not posted anything on social media because I wanted to really try the stuff and like give an honest review and opinion and people know that I have actually been using it. And, instead of just saying, hey, go get all the things from Women's Wellness because they're sponsoring our show. I didn't want it to be ingenuine. So I used the skincare for a month, and I've been doing the semaglutide. They got me on some vitamin D. 10 pounds down. I think my skin looks better than it has in a long time. Just has this inner glow that just comes from my skin.
Yeah.
And I cannot recommend enough Women's Wellness. The people there are just amazing. They're all so kind, and you can really get everything done in one place, from your skincare, your weight loss, your facials, all the things beauty, and then all things wellness as well. Make sure that you're healthy, and it's the perfect place for everything.
Yeah, it doesn't. And also for you're right. Like for your primary care, new care,
Yeah,
they do all that. And that's what I get all. Scott McCullough over there, I text him and he prescribes me, re-ups my prescriptions. It's easier. It's a great process over there. It just makes things, and I've said this many times on the radio, when you're a guy, I think men are generally hesitant about going to the doctor. I know I always have, but they make you feel really comfortable. That's what I like about it. At least, and that's all real talk. That's not just because they're a sponsor. Like, that's cool. I mean, I was going there before I ever did the radio.
Did you hit go live?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason it's not showing.
What?
What?
No, nothing. I'm just so anyway. So I would just go check it out, and we'll go check them out. So
Shaun thinks people can't see him when he's on the camera.
Anyway,
he gets frustrated with me and he makes these faces, and people can see that.
Now, well, I mean, you keep asking about the camera. That's why I'm trying to talk and do that at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, go check them out. And anything else? Anything else from that you experienced?
I just encourage everyone to go. A lot of people don't think they can afford it, but they don't. It's a lot more affordable than I ever imagined it could be or would be. So I really, just encourage people to go check that out. You make sure that you're healthy. I always use the analogy, and I'm the worst about this, and I think moms are always the worst about this, but when you're on an airplane, they tell you to get the oxygen on yourself first or you can't help anyone else. And I think moms a lot of times don't take care of themselves because they're taking care of other people. Mm-hmm. And you got to take care of yourself too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's important because if you're especially you with kids and stuff, if you're not healthy, then you can't take care of them. I read an article a long time ago, and this guy was a CEO, and he said that he prioritized his physical fitness above anything because if he wasn't healthy, he couldn't take care of his family or run his business, support everybody. So he really focused on that. And I know it sounded selfish when you read it, like, oh, you prioritize working out. But when he explained it, it made a whole lot of sense. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, so we've had a quite busy last few days with the news. I wasn't here yesterday. I did call. Well, actually, I called in while I was driving to court, so we had to do a whole phone conference thing about all the different topics. I think we talked about Chip and Joanna Gaines and the fact that they had a gay TV show or a couple hosting a fixer-up show, like a gay couple. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So and then I don't know. And then Candace Owens got sued by the president of France for calling her his wife a man or something. I think something. Yeah, it's always something crazy. I get all this stuff runs together. There's so much out there. But the worst news that I've heard today
that the commissioner made an outrageous Facebook post.
Well, other than that, and we'll get to that, is
Oh no, we're definitely getting to that.
well, this is really quick. Hulk Hogan has died at 71.
Heartbreaking.
It is
Really,
unbelievably
really sad.
heartbreaking. He is a hero to men in their 40s today.
Yeah.
And I know Clay Edwards and I and Fred Shanks, who's a legislator, were in our group text, and all three of us, I think, were tearing up talking about it, because it's just like, it's so emotional when you're a guy of our age, because it's like we grew up with Hulk Hogan as like a hero figure. That whole 1980s era of wrestling was a really big, if you were a grade school student kind of age, maybe preteen in the 1980s, then you know what I'm talking about. Hulk Hogan kind of like raised you, and it was
raised you.
Yeah, I mean, he really, like, it just, if you're a guy,
with fake wrestling,
it's hard to, guys out there listening, you know what I'm talking about. Like Hulk Hogan raised us, GI Joes and Hulk Hogan. I mean, it's just, that was, if you're my age, I'm 46, and you're from that, you were a grade school 6, 7, 8, 9 years old in the 1980s, and you know what I'm talking about. He was that important of a figure in all of our lives. And so it was, we talked about these celebrity deaths this week. It was Ozzy Osbourne, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and of course I love Malcolm Jamal Warner from Cosby Show.
Yeah,
and Ozzy
very sad too. I was actually kind of shocked at the amount of sympathy Ozzy Osbourne got.
Well, I mean,
to be honest,
he's iconic. I mean, he's so iconic
for being crazy.
Yeah, crazy, but he did a lot. He was just pioneer in metal music, and he was just incredible.
Iconic for
figure.
doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I mean, he was an iconic musician. I mean, he just was. He broke through many barriers, like created like modern heavy metal, I guess you would say. He just
didn't he like bite heads?
He bats, snorted ants. I mean, he did a lot of crazy stuff. He was a crazy.
Seems demonic to me.
Well, of course, but if you were into that, he was very, very iconic. But those, I felt bad, but this one like hit me. I was like, oh my God. I was talking to Fred and Clay, and we're all like just really upset about it. This is somebody you don't know, but you feel like you know them, because
great Republican too. Spoke at the RNC.
He did speak at the RNC, but he and I don't care about his political leanings, even though maybe I don't agree with them. I still loved him as a the figure that he was, and the impact I think he made on my generation. So it was really sad to see that today. I always thought you when you're younger, you think Hulk Hogan was the indestructible guy, because he
seemed that way.
Yeah,
kind of like nothing could ever happen to him. And
I know, it's so weird. Like, I was just driving over to the radio station thinking about it. I'm like, God, man, my childhood is really over. I'm old.
What happened?
He had a heart attack.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
I wonder if he was vaccinated.
I don't know that, Lindsay. I don't know.
I would think he wouldn't have taken that.
I have no idea whether he did or not. So nothing I ever looked into. I mean, he's 71 and took a lot of steroids in the 80s. I'm sure that contributed to some coronary issues over the years. Unfortunately,
do those hurt your heart?
I think they have a lot of negative impacts on your body. Yes. I mean, so I'm sure there was a lot of things speaking of drugs, I don't know that. I mean, I assume Hulk Hogan was that wrestling party scene of the 1980s was pretty infamous, with Ric Flair and all those guys. And so I would imagine that Hogan hit things pretty hard too. So
with my generation, it was The Rock. He was the one.
Yeah, The Rock was bigger in the 90s, but he that was, I consider like the 80s kind of like the golden age of wrestling, and with Hogan and the $1 Million Man, the Ultimate Warrior, those what's called Macho Man Randy Savage, Bret Hart, like just those guys are part of that era of golden era of wrestling that guys my age grew up with. And Hulk Hogan was the leader of that. Like he was the guy. So anyway,
very sad.
Rest in peace, Hulk. We're gonna miss you, brother. So anyway, Lindsay's got something she wants to talk about, so I'm gonna let her go and get on to that topic about the guy that was on the side of the road, I think, protesting the Commissioner of Public Safety, Shaun Tindell.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even know what that was about or what he has done to make that man angry. Obviously, if anyone has followed Ivana, who was the trooper who was fired, she has constantly put out negative stories about Shaun Tindell, who is the Commissioner of Public Safety.
Yeah.
And, Shaun, a lot of people, we talked a lot about Bridget Todd. And I don't know if I ever expressed on the show. I know I talked about it on one of the shows that I did with you and Clay at night about really the personal reasons why I was not a fan of Bridget Todd. Yeah. And that had to do with, some people know this, and I think I've mentioned it here and there on the show, but my husband passed away in 2016. I was pregnant with twins at the time, and he had signed his life insurance papers, changing the beneficiary to me. They were laying on the kitchen counter. He had changed his IRA. He had spoken to the manager at the company that he worked for, which he worked for his parents, and they fired him, by the way. He had spoken to the manager there about changing his life insurance policy that was through the company, through Blue Cross, and told her, I need to change that over to Lindsey. So his intent was very, very clear. Now, again, his parents had fired him. And so he was working out of town. He had gotten a new job and he was having to work out of town. They also had taken his company truck. They had turned off his cell phone. They had sued him for grandparents' rights. And he was actually supposed to be in court the day he died. I think if you look at all of that, it's pretty evident that he would not want his life insurance money going to his mother.
Right.
And so there was $260,000 that they fought me over.
Yeah. Sure.
Went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Court of Appeals.
Went to the Court of Appeals, whatever. Shaun Tindell sat on that court at the time. He had all this information. He knew what my husband's intent was. And yet he ruled to give my mother-in-law this life insurance money. We lost our home. We lost my vehicle. Those things were solely in my husband's name. I could not afford to keep those things. I had newborn twins. One of them was very sick, had open heart surgery at 5 months old. So I'm dealing with a sick child in the process of adopting his daughter that was not biologically mine. Her mother had some bad drug issues, and we were terminating parental rights there and adopting. And Shaun Tindell sat on that court and chose to give that money to my mother-in-law, who, by the way, has not given my children one single cent of that money. Now, I did say something to him on a post of his on Facebook about that. And so today he chose to basically call me out in his post and talk about how awful it is to have his wife and child read these horrible things about him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're going to sit there and say how horrible it is for your wife to have to read something bad about you? Go to hell. You made sure my kids did not have the money that was intended to provide for them. You were one of the people who made sure of that. Now, what he should have done was call me and say, I'm so sorry, that case was so hard and the law is written a certain way. Even though he says he followed the law, he could have dissented. And he dang sure did not follow God's law, because the Bible is very clear what it says about widows and orphans. And he went completely against God's word, completely and totally against God's word. How dare he? How dare he?
Your husband had transferred his 401k to you, right? Is that
Yes.
right? Okay,
yes.
That's what I thought. And so it was actually heard at the Chancery Court initially by Denise Owens, wasn't it? And
yes.
Then she ruled against you, and then you guys appealed, right? That's the whole
Yes.
process of it.
Yes.
And he was and your mother-in-law was represented by the current Chancellor, Tiffany Grove. Is that right?
Yes, Tiffany Grove and Bridget Todd were two of the attorneys. Now, Bridget Todd represented her when she attempted to take my kids.
But that was a completely different case. It had nothing to do with this one.
No.
I mean, so this was just Tiffany Grove and David Bridges that were
Right.
representing, David Bridges.
And I did not even realize that until we looked up that. I did not realize that he had written the brief.
Right.
I thought that all
in
of that
opposition
was
to
your
appeal. Right. Correct. Okay. Well, we can discuss more of this. We're about to go to a break, and we will catch you on the next segment on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
So when are you going to check that thing off your to-do list?
Right, that. I don't know. How about next week?
How about now?
Or I could do it later, right?
No more putting it off. Do it now so you don't forget. You want this and have for a while.
You're right. I want this.
You deserve this. And it can help you in the long run. There. I just logged on to holmescc.edu. We're getting you registered right now.
Wait. Hold up. I thought you had to show up on site to register at Holmes.
You can do either one. You know that career you talk about all the time? The life you dream about? It starts today. How does that famous quote go?
Please don't.
The secret to getting ahead is
Getting started.
Fall classes start August 18th, and we don't do Fridays at Holmes. Register at a campus near you Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 3:30, or right now at homecc.edu. And when you come to Holmes CC, your tuition could be free with a 20 on your ACT.
Holmes Community College.
No place like Holmes.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. twoguntactical.com, twoguntactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
What's the magic secret to losing weight? Why, it's diet and exercise, of course. So grab an apple and get moving with Next Generation Fitness in Gluckstadt. Next Generation Fitness is open 24/7, so you can get fit on any schedule. Work out in a positive environment, whether you need a personal trainer, boot camp class, or just prefer to do your own routine. You can finally get healthy and look good at Next Generation Fitness. At only $10 per month, including unlimited tanning, what do you have to lose? Other than those unwanted pounds. Next Generation Fitness, Plantation Cove, just off exit 112 in Gluckstadt.
Come together right now.
And welcome back to Crossing Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey on this Thursday, where Lindsey is talking about some comments made. And welcome back to Crossing Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey on this Thursday, where Lindsey is talking about some comments made.
Yes, and you know the post that he made this morning, it actually was
about
a quote,
Tindell, is that right?
or it's like a poem or a writing, and the name of it is "Do It Anyway." And the last line of it says, "In the final analysis, it is between you and God."
And the name of it is "Do It Anyway."
What's the poem?
And the last line of it
people are often unreasonable,
final
irrational, and
analysis, it is
self-centered.
between
Forgive them
you
anyway.
and God.
If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior
poem
motives.
about?
Be kind anyway.
People
If
are
you are
often
successful, you will
unreasonable,
win some
irrational, and
unfaithful
self-centered.
friends and
Forgive
some
them
genuine
anyway.
enemies.
If you are
Succeed
kind, people
anyway.
may accuse
If
you
you are
of
honest and
ulterior
then
motives.
sincere,
Be
people
kind
may
anyway.
deceive you, but be
If you are
honest and sincere
successful, you will
anyway.
win some unfaithful
What you
friends
spend years
and some genuine
creating,
enemies. Succeed anyway.
others
If
could
you are
destroy
honest-
overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have and it will never be enough, but give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. So Shaun Tindell, you know what's going to be between you and God? On Judgment Day, you're going to have to answer for why you wanted to uphold whatever Mississippi law said. By the way, we had case law. And we were right, regardless of whatever he says. He says he upheld the law. And his comment in this post that he made this morning was, I along with all of the other 11 judges. So if everyone goes and jumps off a bridge, are you going to do it too, Shaun Tindell? You're just going to follow the crowd, even though you know it's wrong, Shaun Tindell? Please tell me. Is that what you're going to do? The appropriate response would have been to apologize, tell me you're sorry for my situation, and then say, you know what? I believe the law's written this way, but let me help you change it so this doesn't happen to anybody else in the future. That would have been an appropriate response, not to make a post calling me out, even though it was not by name. It was very clearly written about me. How dare you? How dare you?
It's too bad that you guys couldn't. I know you tried to settle the case before we went to court in the first place.
Well, my mother-in-law's intentions were never to give anybody else the money. She took that money and ran through it. She had spent every last dime.
The worst situation you ever heard of. Like, whose mother-in-law steals like the children's money? Like, that's just really messed up. I mean, everybody calls me and asks me about that situation because you can Google it online. It's right.
Yeah, you can find you can find Shaun Tindell's name written right there in the ruling from the Court of Appeals.
Yeah, and I mean the opinion gives you the statement of facts, and it's just amazing that that she wouldn't have set up a trust or something and given it to your kids at least. Like, I don't understand why that wouldn't have happened. Like, that's
not who she is.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but like, what? It's just like, it's almost like an unbelievable, like, it's almost on a bad Lifetime movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it should be. It should be.
Like, I mean, who would like steal their kids? I mean, or not? I guess she didn't steal it, but I just call it. I don't want to be sued by her, but the would not. If it was their son's life insurance money,
the money was intended to take care of.
Yeah,
obviously,
whose parents wouldn't give that to their their child's kids. I would think that anybody would do that. I mean, it seems like a normal human thing to do, and not keep it for yourself and spend it on whatever the heck she's spending on. So,
Shaun, you're a lawyer. He did not have to rule that way. He could have dissented, correct?
I mean, yeah, he could have. Sure. I mean, anybody can make a different decision. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could have ruled. He could have ruled your way too. I mean, so could all the other ones though too. Also, I mean,
well, all the other ones are not running for statewide office, and they didn't call me on the Facebook.
Yeah, but no, I understand that. But I mean, if you're looking in the context of the law, I mean, they all agreed that was the direction to go. Do I think they could have ruled the other way? For sure. Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. I think it's one of those times where, and this happens in the law a lot. Like, your situation was so bad that you almost need to bend it a bit, in my mind. You know what I mean? I know people don't like to say that, like, oh, well, you got to follow the letter of the law. And, sometimes you got to do the right thing. And I'll give you an example of this. And I'm not going to tell you who told me this, but it was somebody very well connected. So Byron Dale Beckwith, I talk about that case quite a bit. And this is a really good example, Lindsey, for what you're kind of going through with this. So he was convicted, by in Hinds County Circuit Court in 1994. Lead prosecutor in the case was Bobby DeLauder and Ed Peters. Ed Peters was the DA of Hinds County at that time. That case is infamous around here. It was memorialized in the movie Ghost of Mississippi with Alec Baldwin and Whoopi Goldberg. Anyway,
great movie, by the way.
Great, yeah. So Beckwith had actually killed Medgar Evers in 1963. And in June of 1963, and the case went to two juries in the 60s and 64, both hung juries at the time. And so the case just lay dormant for like 30 years. It was resurrected by Jerry Mitchell, who we've discussed that with him before. And
he's been on the show with us.
Yeah, and brought that case up in the Hinds County DA's office, and they worked it, and they sought a prosecution of him 30 years later. Now, of course, there was the argument that the defense would make is right to a speedy trial. 30 years is that was a big contentious thing.
Not very speedy.
Right. So after he was convicted, there was, he appealed it just like everybody else does. And the appellate court said, well, that, I can't remember exactly the reasoning behind the decision, but it was essentially that, it wasn't a speedy trial violation. I think they used the rationale of something like, well, he had a trial in the 60s and it was, I don't remember all of it. But anyway, I talked to somebody close to the court at that time about this because I was, how fascinated I am by that case.
Right.
And they told me, they said, sometimes you just have to do the right thing.
They
were wrong on the law is what I'm saying about the speed. Because think about it, 30 years you're talking about. They were wrong on the law, and they said sometimes you have to do the right thing. And this is somebody, and I'll tell you not when we're on here who it was, but I thought it was. I can't believe I haven't actually told you the story now because it really is analogous to the situation we're discussing with that. But yeah, they said that that you're going to do the right thing. And I remember telling them, I said, you know what, I agree with you. Sometimes the law needs to be bent for the right result, and I know that just goes against the grain of most lawyers. But when a situation with, like you said, with Beckwith, where that was such a stain on the state of Mississippi and his conviction erased a lot of the sins of the past. You know,
Mhm.
the Mississippi would do that. Now, a reversal of that conviction and his being set free would have really damaged not only the victims' families in that case, but the entire state. You know, so I think that was the
Yeah, and this isn't exactly like that, but I mean, even the state flag, you know, a lot of
Right.
people said it wasn't done the right way,
Yeah.
and they did kind of go over the people's heads. They didn't get to vote on it, but it was the right thing. It was the right thing to do at that time, and they did it.
Yeah, right. I think I know people dispute like this, but yeah, it was just one of those things that needed to be done. Even though I know there's a lot of people that hate me for saying that, but it just we represented the whole state, and there, and our black brothers and sisters too that had to be represented by that. That just in the unfairness of that, I think they made the right decision, whether it was under duress or whatever it was. I think finally it was the right decision. But people disagree with that too. I mean, you have a right to your own opinion about it. That's fine with me. And I'm sure the Beckwith family probably disagreed with the fact that his trial took 30 years or the third trial. And legally, I mean, they're almost correct on that. Legally, morally, I feel differently about it. Morally, it's overwhelmingly Beckwith was guilty. There's just no way around that. I mean, he bragged about it after the trials. The trials in the 60s.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just he gave a speech to a whole group of Klansmen, where it's documented in a book talking about killing Medgar Evers. I mean, like he wasn't. He was proud of it. I mean, he wasn't like he was hiding it. So,
well, I've heard whispers and rumors that Shaun Tindell may be running for Attorney General of the state of Mississippi, and I just tell Mississippians, like, I would think that through real quick before you go give him your vote, because if you have someone willing to make that kind of decision, I can see his campaign material now being some of the campaigns that you talk about. I love Jesus 27% more than my opponent.
That's y'all side of the aisle.
Well, let me tell you.
Campaigns.
I mean, if you want to go that route, Shaun Tindell, let me tell you, James 1:27 says, "Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress and keep oneself from being polluted by the world." Exodus 22:22, "Do not take advantage of the widow or the fatherless." 1 John 3:17, "If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person?" I mean, it goes on and on. Deuteronomy, "Leave it for the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work in your hands." Psalm 68:5, "A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling." It goes on and on. Old Testament, New Testament, everywhere throughout the Bible. It's very clear.
I do
very clear.
Appreciate that Bible lesson.
Well, I hope Shaun Tindell
here on Sundays.
Somebody needs to give it to Shaun Tindell.
Let's go. Can we read the Bible about stoning women? Because that would. There's a part about that in there too, isn't it?
That has nothing to do with this.
I can't throw a rock at you, because that would sometimes I want to. Anyway, if we're gonna take everything in the Bible literally,
you just said that on air.
Well, yeah, we're gonna take everything about it literally.
I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, that is pretty literal.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm just saying.
God is very clear.
Right. I mean, so, and with the stoning thing too, though.
Shaun, come on now, be serious. It's not. But I mean, anybody with common sense, anybody with any sort of moral compass or decency, is going to have pity on the widow and fatherless.
Well, I mean, I think that's what makes your story so compelling, because it's one of those things that's just unimaginable that a mother-in-law would do something like that. I mean, just nobody, I mean, it's just like, I don't even know how to, it's almost, I don't have words to describe. I'm going to have to ask ChatGPT to give me some words to describe how bad it is. Because it's
pretty
something
sick.
Yeah, it is. And, but on that note, if you hate your mother-in-law, like a lot of people do, we can discuss that next segment
I can make your mother-in-law look like an angel.
Right. And Lindsey, to make you feel better about your mother-in-law, guys, you have to go visit. You might want to buy our gift after that. But we will be back next segment to talk about Epstein. Be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Peace, love, and pizza. It's Collie Days at Johnny's Pizza House. Load up the crew and hit the road with nothing but good vibes and better pizza. It's all about that crunchy new cauliflower crust. 10 inches of baked bliss. Light, crispy, and full of flavor. It's the ultimate slice for summer chillin'. Best enjoyed with sunshine and good company. Nothing but love served one slice at a time. But don't wait. This trip's for a limited time only. Peace, love, and pizza. Happy Collie Days from Johnny's Pizza House.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
CBS News special report. Hulk Hogan, the shirt-ripping superstar of pro wrestling, has died.
And what's it gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Host and fight announcer Curran Batia says Hogan changed the sport and the way we saw pro wrestlers.
Really, Hulk Hogan was that pioneer to not only take it from those small, ballrooms and those smoky arenas, but make it a national sport, a global sport, and make it into this global phenomenon.
CBS's Chanel Call.
He made his professional wrestling debut back in 1977 and quickly became a household name. He was known for his theatrical performances in the ring.
Hogan went on to star in reality shows, even movies, and later weighed in on politics. He spoke at last year's Republican National Convention. He died today in Clearwater, Florida at the age of 71. Police say there was a medical call for cardiac arrest. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
On November 4th, the voters of Madison County will elect their next Justice Court judge.
Hi, I'm Mitch Tyner. I'm a lifelong Mississippian and a resident of Madison County for over 50 years. I'm the proud father of 3, businessman and attorney. For almost 4 decades, I've worked in our court systems to protect the rights of citizens just like you. Please vote Mitch Tyner and allow me to put my experience to work for you as your next Justice Court judge. I'm Mitch Tyner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Mitch Tyner.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Looking for the ultimate reset for your body and skin? At Core Wellness and Recovery, you'll find next-level services like cryotherapy, red light therapy, infrared sauna, body sculpting, and advanced facials. Whether you want to boost performance, recover faster, or just feel your best, Core Wellness and Recovery delivers real results with zero downtime.
And we're back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where this segment will be brought to you by Pure Air Consultants, because in honor of how freaking hot it is today, and this is the hottest week in the summer in Mississippi.
This is the hottest week?
Yeah, right now.
How do they know that?
Well, so far.
Oh, so far.
I mean, they can't predict like what next week. I mean, they can predict, but they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering if maybe in history this has been the hottest week.
I don't know about history. I mean, it's I guess what's the difference? 115, 116 tomato kind of
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
Like, what's it matter at that point? You're just sweating to death. But you should try Pure Air Consultants, who will come out and they can fix your AC, because that's important right now, because you don't want to sweat to death. And whether it's something issue like a flip switch, a dirty condenser, an improperly sized unit, an old unit, or a malfunctioning thermostat, which I've had before, and I actually went and bought one of these the smart thermostats. You've seen it in my house. And I had to have somebody. I thought I could YouTube it, but no, I couldn't figure it out, and I had to have somebody. Yes,
Don't even try,
that's what
Shaun.
8 years of
Don't
school
even try.
and all this book learning will get you. You can't install the smart thermostat. That's why I believe I always say that trade professions are so important, because those folks know how to do so much more stuff than I do, and I appreciate them, especially my AC guy. I've always appreciated him. He's a good dude.
Trade schools don't get the respect they deserve.
They do not. Absolutely not. For over 40 years, Pure Air Consultants have delivered exceptional cooling systems to Central Mississippi, and they want to offer you a rare gift, which is I keep saying Griff when I read that, a free labor warranty for 5 years, new construction build, thermostat installation, and more. Financing is available. Reach out to Pure Air Consultants. You are not going to regret it this time of year.
That free labor warranty is a big deal, because the labor is what gets you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It totally does. It gets you'll have like a $10 part, and it's like $300 in labor.
But you don't care. You don't care what you have to do.
Not at that time.
When the air is out in the summer in Mississippi.
No, you're not going to care one bit about
Take my money. Take it all.
You can have every bit of it for sure. It does not matter the cost at all at this time of year. Well, Lindsay, so we had now I call this segment the Wall Street Journal Strikes Back, because apparently they took
instead of the Empire.
Yeah. Well, they said, okay, Donald sued them Friday after their news article last Thursday was regarding the infamous now birthday card that was allegedly sent from the president to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday back in 2003. President Trump has denied that birthday card is real. He then the next day sued the Wall Street Journal in Southern District Court in federal court in Florida. Then that was the next day he did that.
Which, if it was real or not real, suing was obviously he had to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but I can get into that later. How many bad idea that might end up be. I heard they're going to actually have to dismiss the case, because you're supposed to wait 5 days under the local rules there after.
He didn't have attorneys that knew that?
Apparently not. So that's why I just saw that on Breaking Points right before I got over here, that they were going to most likely have to, because they didn't follow the rules. You have to wait 5 days after the incident, and then that. And
so then can they just refile it again?
I imagine so. I don't know what the local rules are there, but they were it's kind of embarrassing that they'd have to dismiss it. So then the Wall Street Journal decided, well, we don't care about this lawsuit. So they hit back with some new reporting yesterday regarding that the president had been mentioned in the Epstein files, not lists. I know we get some confusion about what the difference between a file and a list, or if a list even exists, but in the files. And so the president was reportedly told by Attorney General Pam Bondi in May of this year that he was included in the Epstein file, mentioned several times, along with along with like I think hundreds of other names. By the way, it wasn't just prominent people.
But one thing they're saying is file. They're not saying client list.
No, they're not. I'm trying to make sure because we don't know that nobody knows there's a list right now, a specific list. It's just assumed that there is. And his name was mentioned among many other high-profile names, along with what is called, they've termed in the report, nefarious hearsay, which I assume is like bad stuff, right? Nefarious hearsay. That means, and Lindsay was asking me what that would mean last night. And that'd be kind of like, let's say that, I was being interviewed by the FBI and Lindsay had told me something. And I said, well, I heard from Lindsay, or that kind of thing, And so that's when they're saying
it's like playing a game of telephone.
Yeah. I mean, and so they heard things, I call it word on the street. They heard word on the street that Trump was doing this or that, whatever that is. We don't really know. It just used the word nefarious. Then he was the president. Well, I'll give you a little timeline. So that was in May. July 7th is when the Attorney General said they had shut down the Epstein investigation. Nothing else would be released. That's when MAGA went into the uproar that we're in currently at this time on July 24th. On July 15th, the president was specifically asked on video whether the Attorney General had told him that he was included in the Epstein file, that his name was. He said that she had not told him that. She had said, no, he was not in the files. And then yesterday, July 23rd, we get reporting that they actually did. She did tell him that in May, and where the White House initially kind of denied it. And then last night they confirmed that, yes, the president is in the files, but he's not accused of any wrongdoing in the files, according to them. So that's kind of where we are. So, in May, he's given information by the Attorney General in a White House meeting or an Oval Office meeting that he's included in the Epstein files. He denies that on July 15th. But after that, on July 7th, they say they're closing down the investigation. Then July 15th, he denies that he is included in Epstein files or that the attorney general told him that. But now we got reporting that says he is, and then it was finally confirmed by the White House. So I know that's a long way, Lindsay, but I guess the question is, why did he say he was not after he had been told, and now that's been confirmed?
Well, now the narrative is that I guess what they're going to attempt to say is that during this last administration under Biden, maybe things were tampered with.
Well, I mean, and see, I've heard that, and my response to that, how ridiculous that is this: why didn't they just release it earlier to like make sure he wouldn't win? I mean, they tried everything else. I mean, they didn't. I mean, they did all. I mean, I agree with that. Even as a Democrat, they did things to me that were unconscionable. I don't think using the justice system as a weapon is good in any circumstance.
But if things were altered, why not release it?
Yeah, to help Kamala Harris.
If you have the ability to alter it, why not take out all the Democrats' names and then have Trump's name all in it and then release it?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And then you do it before he actually took office. I mean, I heard this one breakdown of this. So Trump saying this is a hoax by Obama, Clinton, and Comey. So what's the hoax? Like, they created these fake files. They never released them while Trump's running for office. Then he becomes president one time. He becomes president again, or he runs 3 times. They never release it any time there, these fake files the Democrats created. And they wait for him to assume office. They still don't release it, and they wait for him to release it. So that's, I mean, it's the worst conspiracy ever.
Also, though, Shaun, it's not any new information that his name is in those files because he's on the flight logs.
But I think this is different than that, is the breakdown of that. What I'm reading is a difference.
There might be a difference, but we don't know what that difference is because they're not telling us. Nobody's telling us anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We do know that this is different than the information that's been released previously.
You know what would solve it all?
Releasing files.
Release the file.
Yeah. Well,
release the daggum files. You can redact the pornographic images and videos of children. Obviously, that shouldn't be released.
Right.
The government releases stuff all the time that's redacted.
Sure.
Release the daggum files, redact the child pornography in it, and let everybody see it. That solves it all.
Yeah, I mean, and there's one person that can do that right now, the President of the United States. He can order that done. And I've heard that excuse. Well, we have to, redact sensitive information, well, just redact it then. You had 1,000 staff workers, FBI in February.
Now, do we know that's true? That came from somebody. Was that?
Well, that's a letter to the FBI director. I'm not sure if they've confirmed that happened, but it seems like likely that that's what happened. I think they may have confirmed that.
Well, I mean, if I'm Donald Trump and I'm reelected, I don't know why he didn't do it the first time he was in. I guess they have more information now because they've been working on this case. But
Epstein died in 2019, so I guess maybe they did. Maybe they. I'm sure they do have more information.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot more that's been added.
I mean, he was president when he allegedly committed suicide.
But if I am reelected and I'm in office, of course, I'm going to have somebody go through it and see where my name is and when it's mentioned because your name's in there. You're on the flight
staff
logs.
Workers though that flagged any possible mention of Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, we don't know that's. I think that's nefarious.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a letter written from a senator to the FBI director, Kash Patel. Now, I'll try to run that down if it's confirmed yet or not. I assume that is going to be confirmed that happened. So you do that.
I just don't like all this he said, she said. Well, we don't know. We're not seeing anything. We don't know anything.
Well, I mean, again, this could be resolved if they just release the thing, and then who's got the power to do that?
I agree.
Who ran on this over the course of all these years that he and his surrogates were going to do this, and then they've not done it. Now, what happens is, according to the Wall Street Journal, so he's informed, and now confirmed by the White House last night, by the way. So this is not fake news. That he was informed in May of this year that his name was included in the files.
But we knew that. I mean, obviously, he knew that.
Right, but he knew about there's been other stuff that had been released. This is again different than this is other.
They say it is.
Right, they're saying that we don't know what it is. There's a way we can find out.
Yeah.
So then he is interviewed about this on July 15th, where they ask him specifically, "Did the Attorney General tell you your name is in the files?" He responds, and you watch the video with me. No, that she didn't tell me that. So he's all right. So there we know he's lying because now they've confirmed that he is, and even the White House did last night. So you got to ask yourself, why is he lying about it? I mean, why, if his name's in there and he was told that, what's the point of lying about it? I mean, that doesn't, you should say, yeah, it's in there, but I'm not accused of any wrongdoing. That's the answer. I mean, that makes sense.
I say we were friends at one point. I didn't know he was involved in child sex.
Yeah.
Trafficking.
I mean, and that's believable too, by the way. It's not like I'm sitting here saying, oh, wow, we know Donald Trump had sex with a teenager. I mean, it's possible that he did, but I don't know that. The other thing is just as likely that he didn't, that he was just hanging out with another rich guy and they like to pick up women, like of age women. That could have been true too. So, but you make yourself look guilty when you lie. And that's the problem. And I, learned that.
Or when you don't release the files.
I mean, 20 years of practicing law, from the prosecution side and now the defense side, I've always learned that when I was prosecuting somebody, the minute I got them, you saw it when I was defending our client a few months ago.
You do it to me all the time.
But I had that woman on the stand and I got her to admit in front of the jury that she was a liar. And I said, you can tell the jury right now, what are you? I'm a liar. Okay. So she admits to the jury she's a liar. The minute she does that, they don't believe anything else she's got to say. And that's the problem when you lie. So I just don't know why he did that in this context. If you're trying to push the narrative that you didn't do any wrongdoing, then just say that. I'm in the files because I hung out with them, but I didn't do anything. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the files that didn't do anything. So that's going to be an interesting question to ask.
He's playing chess.
It's 3D chess, right? It must be that, Lindsey. Well, we will get back to this 3D chess game on our last segment that will be really short.
Last segment.
Our last segment that will be very short. And we'll be out here for the day. And join us back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
If you ever been stuck on the side of the road with engine trouble or because of an accident, you know how frustrating that can be. I'm Chad Stevens of Chad Stevens Record Service. We'll help take some of the stress out of the stressful situation. We've been rated by AAA as one of the top 10 towing services in the entire USA. Why? Well, just ask our customers. So keep our number in your cell phones and call us if you need us. 662-755-8645. That's Chad Stevens Record Service. 662-755-8645.
Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of Flora Pharmacy. Flora Pharmacy is proud to be locally owned and operated. We believe in the power of community and personalized care. At Flora Pharmacy, we treat you like family. And for your convenience, we offer curbside service and prescription home delivery. Just pull up and we'll bring your prescriptions right to you. Can't make it to our store? Flora Pharmacy will drive it to your doorstep. Come see the best pharmacy in town today at Flora Pharmacy, where care meets convenience. Highway 49 in Flora.
For over 15 years, A1 Gear and Auto has been your hometown specialist for your auto repair and maintenance needs. From brake repair to placement to radiators, engines, starters, alternators, heat, and AC water pumps, and more, A1 will get your vehicle back up and running and on the road and in a timely manner. A1 is one of the only shops in the metro that specializes in rear differentials, rear ends, and rings and pinions. Call today to set up an appointment, or if you got questions, at 601-939-1060. A1 Gear and Auto, your hometown vehicle specialist.
You know what's a nightmare? We've all seen that movie where the bad guy's coming and your gun jams up. Luckily, that's just a movie, but you can't take the chance it could happen to you in real life. Hey, y'all, I'm Therese Apel from Dark Horse Press, and I've written stories about a whole lot of situations where people needed their gun to work for them. So if yours is moody or likes to jam, you need to take it to Guns and Gear. Let their professional gunsmiths look at it and fix it so it'll work when you need it. They're the absolute best at what they do, and that's why I buy all my guns from them. That's Guns and Gear in Gluckstadt. Check them out today.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Are you looking for the perfect bottle to elevate your next dinner? The ultimate destination for wine lovers is 042 Wine and Spirits on West Government Street in Brandon. They're locally owned, they're locally operated.
And we're back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey discussing the latest report in the Wall Street Journal that that concluded that President Trump was informed in May of this year that he is included in the Epstein files. Under what he did or what happened, we don't know yet. Those because the files, as Lindsey has pointed out many times, have not been released. So this is kind of, Lindsey, what's becoming like a slow drip. And it really, I know you always call me the history dork and all this stuff, but this is, sometimes it's good to know a lot about histories and presidential scandals. And this is kind of playing out the way Watergate did in a lot of very similar
with the
ways.
drip. Watergate
Yeah,
drip.
I mean, yeah, that's a good one. Here you go, with Watergate drip. I mean, well, it's always what they say. It's not the scandal, it's the cover-up is the problem. Even so, President Nixon didn't order the break-in of the Watergate, the DNC headquarters in 1972. But what he did do is help cover it up, and that's what eventually.
Just like Chris McDaniel didn't order those people to break in.
Oh God, yeah, right. Can that? I mean, so he didn't do that portion, but he did, assist in the efforts of the cover up of that, and that's kind of what I was telling somebody yesterday. Like, even if you assume that the president didn't, sleep with teenagers, let's assume that he didn't do that. And I'm not saying he did or didn't. I don't know yet. Let's assume that he did not. Then even covering up, though, is a problem. His, associations whatsoever, it could become a potential problem, like it was for Nixon in that regard. It said, I mean, like the break-in of the DNC in 72 was bad, but what took Nixon down was the lie, like stonewalling the tapes, his obstruction. I mean, with Trump here, it's the Epstein connections may or may not implicate him criminally, but his lies, contradictions, and efforts to suppress the files are what's drawing blood right now.
That's
really
what I tell my kids all the time.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to be so much more angry with you, not over what you did, but the fact that you lied to me about it. Like, that's where the anger comes from.
That's what it is. It's a lie. Like, I mean, if we look at the situation here, he denied knowing about being in the files until the Wall Street Journal proved otherwise. He promised full transparency,
I don't know.
then shut it down as president, and he attacked his own supporters, even asking questions. That's like Nixon level paranoia right now. That's what I'm saying.
Just release it.
Just release it would be the best way to go about it.
It's not going to go away.
No, it's not. It's not. And this is not going to end. It's going to keep, because there's going to be, I'm telling you, the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch has got more stories planned. And that's what's going to happen here. So you're just going to see.
It should be interesting to watch it unfold.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to consume, the media cycle for basically ever. I don't know when unless you just release the files, unless that's out there. And these files are like Donald Trump specifically didn't sleep with a teenager. There's no allegations if that I'm looking at, and and so if that's got to be out there for this to conclude, and until that does, it won't. But anyway, we will be back to talk about this again probably tomorrow, because the media cycle
same
will
time, same place.
See y'all.
See you then.